So with several media claiming that Victor Osimhen is 95% done, in terms of heading to Manchester United next season. This is actually an interview that answers that question. It was done by a Turkish journalist, Omar Farouk Özkan.
To be honest, I don't know.
Do you think that in this country, is this your last derby against Fenerbahce, or you are going to play next year also? What do you think?
But to be honest, I don't know. No, last few months, nobody ever thought I would come here. I never knew I would come in a club like that. That's already how big of the club of the club they is. I think for me, I live for the moment. So what's going to happen in the summer? I don't really know, but I want everyone to understand something, that I really love this club so much. I love its fans. I love everyone associated with this club, the president down to the coach, to the staff, everyone associated with this club. So for me, it's really a big privilege to be here, and I'm really enjoying my time here.
Okay, congratulations.
After that game versus Fenerbahce last night, and Victor Osimhen, in his answering of this interview, of which he was asked where he's going to play, is he going to stay at Galatasaray for next season, Osimhen hasn't said anything that indicates that he's going to Man U, and he also hasn't said anything that indicates that he's going to stay at Galatasaray. So he just said that he wants to live in the moment, enjoy his football, and he doesn't know what the future holds. That we'll see about that. Again, this means that this speculations are all rumors right now. So we're going to have to wait and see where the young man heads in the summer. But the most important story for this video right now about Victor Osimhen is that he has given us some confidence, ahead of those games coming up in March. He has said that he's ready. His teammates are ready, Super Eagles, and he feels that the games coming up against Rwanda and Zimbabwe are the games that will get good results in, because everyone knows what's at stake. Qualifying into the 2026 World Cup is the very important thing that's at stake, and he talks about how it's his dream, just like it's the dream of his teammates, to play in the World Cup, and he wants to live out that dream by helping the team qualify. He also said that he's had conversation with Coach Chelle, and that it was very positive, the conversation between he and the coach, and he's looking forward to coming to the camp and experiencing the coach firsthand in trainings, and see how he and the guys can work with the coach to get the required results. In Osimhen's own words, he said, "You have to give everything. It's every young player's dream to play at the World Cup. Mine is no exception." He continues, "I want to be there just like everyone of my teammates. We are looking forward to the matches against Rwanda and Zimbabwe to correct past mistakes. We are ready." That is what he said about the team spirit, the preparation heading into these games. But also about the coach, he talks about, as I said, he said, "I've spoken with him a few times, and I understand the objectives and I understand the objective he has set for the team. I'm looking forward to our first training to experience his approach firsthand." So this is what Osimhen has said. And even though Osimhen thinks that these games coming up in March against Rwanda and Zimbabwe are games that we will win, he actually believes that we can win those games. He also knows that these teams are not to be underestimated. He says that there's no small team in qualifiers, so obviously it's going to be very difficult, but he believes that when you factor in what's at stake, that's going to motivate the guys to come out and get the required results for these games. As you might know, we are not in a very good position right now when it comes to the World Cup qualifiers group, as we sit in the 5th position with 3 points after 4 games. Rwanda are topping, and they are the guys who are going to meet next with 7 points. South Africa also has 7 points in second place. Benin 7 points as well, and Zimbabwe are the next guys after Rwanda. So Zimbabwe are the last with 2 points. So this is how bad it is for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, going into these games. But in the last couple of hours, we've seen some good news, regarding Coach Chelle's team. The last video I talked about William Just Ekong doing really well. He rehab, and the speculation now is that it's going to be ready before these games come up. And now there's another player of ours, Dele Bashiru. There's some good news coming in from Officer Dele Bashiru, because after the medical test, Lazio Football Club has now announced that his injury is minor, that it wasn't as initially feared. So the date now that he has been given to return back is less than 2 weeks. Effectively, he's going to miss 2 matches for Lazio, and those will be games against Inter Milan and AC Milan next weekend. So that is, the latest on Visa Bashir. So after that is going to return to the team and hopefully, stay fit long enough to make the list, or at least be in contention to make the list for Coach Eric Chelle's debut games with Super Eagles of Nigeria next month. So we'll see what happens about that. But moving over to some update concerning the Nigerian under-20 national team. Of course, if you recall, they are secretly in camp right now. Coach Zubeiru's team, they are preparing for their African Cup of Nations game coming up next month in Ivory Coast. And I've given you guys the group that we will be in, and Egypt happens to be one of the guys that will play in the group, which ultimately made them to cancel the friendlies that they were supposed to have on the 25th of this month and 28th. So right now, there have been some new friendlies that have been booked right now by NFF, and Zubeiru's team will be playing against Ivory Coast, the host nation. They'll play those games on the 26th, which is exactly tomorrow, and then return leg on the 28th. So 2 friendlies, both in Abidjan, have been slated. So Coach Zubeiru and his boys are already on their way to Abidjan, which is the venue where they are going to play these friendlies, and of course test themselves ahead of the games coming up in the African Cup of Nations under 20 category. There have also been some updates concerning the Super Falcons of Nigeria, and frankly, we've not really seen them in action for a long time now, and that could be a good thing because obviously they've rested, so they will be fresh when they regroup back in camp. Because right now CAF has now drawn them with Benin Republic for the final round of the qualifiers of the WAFCON 2025. That's the Women's African Cup of Nations, and it's going to be winner takes all. The games are actually going to come later this year, 20th of October to 28th of October. Winner takes all on aggregate and qualifies for the African Cup of Nations 2025 women category. We're going to see what's going to happen, of course, with this one.